We love you. Just a little bit more update and information on the little 2-year-old that went missing, the Amber Alert in Wisconsin. When this little child was found in Austin, Minnesota. This is an area where he was, and this is why the Amber Alert said that she could be in Minnesota or Michigan. A city worker was driving home from work and spotted something odd. This man has a very good eye, and he sees something odd, so he stopped and he see a blanket, and inside this blanket was a body of a little girl. He caught it in, and this is when the description of the missing little girl was identified as being her, because the description matched the little girl on the Amber Alert. Now, they say that this body has been there for a while. They are not saying how long this body has been here, but this little girl was just tossed to the side of the road, not even concealed. It was just like threw her out of the car. I don't know, guys, that's just my opinion. He got out the car and he threw her or placed her there and just put a blanket over top of her, kind of thing. Now, what would make him do such a thing? We don't know if this child was strangled or shot, because we do know he was armed. We don't know if they are releasing this information, which they haven't. The body is being autopsied, and but we want to know why he did such a thing. This mother came from another state to let him see their child. Now, I don't know what was going on in their relationship, because you know how the news is reported. At first they said this was her boyfriend, but she also lived in a different state. She does not live in Milwaukee. And then another news report said that he had never seen this child before. It was the first time he's seen this child. So I couldn't understand that part. Is how can you be boyfriend and girlfriend if you've never seen this child? That didn't make sense. So, but anyway, she brought the child to Wisconsin, to Milwaukee, and she had flown in that day, or came to pick up her child that day. He gave her the meeting place where he would be and said, yeah, she's in that apartment building right there. But we don't know if that apartment building had anything to do with anything. He just said, meet me there. So she did, and that's where she got ambushed, and multiple shots to her and her friend, which the update on her is not much of an update on her. I assume that she's still alive and doing well, because they haven't said that she has died from her injuries. And the guy that was shot, we thought, they said he was outside and a passerby. It turns out maybe he was kind of looking, see what was going on, all the gunshots, and he got shot in his apartment, and he got grazed in the arm and was bleeding and felt this burning, and he realized he got shot, and this was from flying bullets. We don't know if the gunman saw him peering out of the window, so he shot at him for witnesses. But that's just a little update. So what do you think, guys? This is so horrible, and we don't know why he did it. Was he mad? Was he angry? Was he pissed off because of a situation? What did this little girl do to him? Now, I'm thinking the timeline, like I said in my last video. there's not enough time for him to go to Minnesota. If you go from Milwaukee to the border of Minnesota, it takes you at least 5 hours. 5 hours. And then you got to get back, because he came back. Now, I don't think he left in the first place. I'm thinking that this child was dead before he shot the mother. There's not enough time for him to have gone to Minnesota, tossed the body in the middle of a field, and then come back to Milwaukee. That don't make sense, does it, guys? That don't make sense. Once you're away, you would keep moving, wouldn't you? So, he obviously was talking, or they were trying to get information out of him, because they are not releasing information, as this is an ongoing investigation. Now, we're not sure if he's officially been charged on this little girl's murder yet, but it's coming. And but we want to know why. Why did he do this? Well, he is known to the police in different states, so he has been in trouble, but I'm not sure what trouble he's been in, and he probably should not have had a gun in the first place. So there's another charge on him, but that's the least of his worries. That's the least of our concerns. And now they're in uproar about the gun law again. We're not going to get rid of guns. Everybody has the right as a citizen to carry a concealed weapon, especially in Wisconsin. We are allowed to do that. But anyway, that's the least of his problems. And guns don't kill. The person with the gun is the one that kills. So may this little girl rest in peace. But they did say that the body has been there for some time. I don't know what that means. Does it mean a day or two or a week? We don't know. But I thought right away, more or less right away, when I heard the story that, and when they found him, especially when they found him not far from the scene, that he didn't have enough time to go there. And, you know, once you're out of the state and on the run, you keep running, right? You keep running. But somebody was harboring him, and maybe they didn't know at first, but they heard the news, and we're not sure if he gave himself up or somebody gave him up, because he was hot news. He was in the news, and they didn't want to get in trouble, so I expect somebody gave him up and told him where he was. But anyway, there's the update, guys. I can't understand it, why this father would kill a child he hardly knows. You know, maybe the child was crying all the time or something. I don't know. You know how it is. And anyway, if he hadn't seen this child very much or at all, I don't think I would leave a child with somebody. That's like leaving a child with a stranger. You know, I would just stay around and let them visit for a little while, few hours, and come back and be around and do it that way. But I don't know the whole story on this case, so that part I can't understand. Did she think he would do such a thing? I don't know what his nature was, violent, or he's never been violent. He sure has been in a lot of trouble. So, I don't know. I don't know how all this relationship went down. How they met in the first place. But, I mean, she has relations here in Milwaukee. So, because the girl that was shot, the woman that was shot, was from Milwaukee. So, but you know, it's not a good thing, but at least they found her remains, and she can be put to rest with her mother. At least that came out of it. You know, guys, I know it's hard to fathom, but it is a blessing that her body was found, and she can be buried with her mother. They can be together for eternity. And they belong to each other. Do you know what I mean, guys? I mean, it's hard to say that, but it's a fact. They're both dead. So, there you are, guys. There's a little bit more update, and later on, when the more information is released, I will update you on why he did it. If he ever talks. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess he's going to talk, because we know he killed the mother. So what's he got to lose? He's going to get life anyway. So we just want to know why. Why this little girl that he hardly knows, and he kills her and dumps her body like dirt. You know, dumps her in a ditch. And thank God that city worker was passing by and he noticed something. Now, I know that's his job, but how great is that he stopped and just took one look. Just took a look. That's all it took. If you see anything at the side of the road and you know there's someone's missing and they're looking for you, and they know that they could have been in this area, take a look. Stop your car and take a look. But how often do people look for trash? And how many times do we see some trash along the side of the road, like a little box or a bag or some clothes? I mean, but do we ever stop and take a look? Not many of us do that. We just keep driving by, right? But it makes you think twice about what could be in that bag. Yes, guys, what can be in that box? That little bit of trash on the side of the road. But you know how this city worker was driving by, how we see this blanket of such. Now, this little girl was just dumped on the side of the road. She dumped there so somebody would find her eventually. He wanted her to be found eventually. Yeah, that might have been in his thoughts. But thank God for that city worker that was keeping his eye out. That's his job. No, I just want to clap my hands and say thank you for that, because this little girl has been found. Not how we wanted her to be found. We wanted her alive and brought back to her grandfather, her family. But that is not to be. So guys, that's the update. Let's have your thoughts and a discussion on why you think he may have done this. What makes a person do this? Out of the blue. It's like out of the blue. Or did he have plans on doing this? Because obviously he had no feelings for this little girl, and he had no feelings for the mother. The mother has angered him in some way, but we don't know what she had done to anger him to commit murder. Okay guys, your thoughts, and let's have a discussion on this, and thank you for stopping by.